Hey gang, man, we are excited. This Sunday we're opening our doors and we're going to begin the process of having in-person worship service here in our shared space. So 10:30 will be worship. We will open the doors starting at 10 o'clock. So we will also be having, for the first time ever, live streaming our worship services. So you can just go to our website and at 10:30 you will be joining us for what we're doing in there. After services are over, that will become a recording if you yourself, your family, your house church, your small group wants to continue meeting with a recording of worship services. So whether in person or online, we're excited to worship together this Sunday, and we're confident and prayerful that God is going to help us to just become more like Christ, a love-first congregation that's becoming more like Christ and advancing His mission. Now, since we will be abiding by some safety protocols because of COVID-19, we decided to put together this little instructional video so that you can know what to expect when you come and what we're expecting of each other while we're here.
All right, as you're making your way to our building this Sunday, a couple of things you want to keep in mind as you're arriving. First is, only a few of our exterior doors are going to be open. The north side main entrance doors to the lobby are going to be open, and especially if you have kiddos, that's the door that you're going to want to use. Also, the south side doors of the lobby will be open by the large parking lot. You're welcome to enter in there. This west side, close to the town club, it is open for parking. You're welcome to park here, but these exterior doors are going to be locked. So if you want to park over here, that's fine. Just know you'll need to walk around.
Whether you enter through the north or south door, you're going to be greeted and welcomed from a distance by some of our leaders. Recognize that our goal from this point forward is to keep everyone as safe as we possibly can. Please wear masks. We're going to have some available. Please keep socially distanced and recognize that each of us feels differently about what's going on in our world, and we want to respect that. The first thing you're going to notice is a row of hand sanitizer. We're asking everybody, please use some as you go in, and recognize that some people are a little more fired up than others.
Children's ministry, we have temporarily suspended class, kids praise, and attended nursery. We'll be set up out here on the north side of the building with color pages and crayons for you to take to worship.
So that'll be helpful for you. Be sure you park on the north side of the building because that's where we'll be set up.
All right, once you're inside the building, that's where you're going to notice some of the biggest changes that we're having to make right now. Normally this area of the lobby is full of people shaking hands and giving hugs and visiting with each other, but that's just not something we can practice right now as we begin meeting together. So we want folks to come in the door and make their way pretty quickly into the auditorium to find their seats. Remember, there are going to be people coming in behind you. You'll notice, especially on the north end, that our children's wing will be blocked off and closed. Also, these hallways on the west side of the building where we have classrooms and our offices and the student center, those are also going to be closed and off limits. We want you to just make your way quickly through this area and find your seat. A couple other things that are different. You'll notice that our water fountains will no longer be available, at least for now, so you might walk around those. And normally we serve some coffee here in the lobby as well, but we're going to suspend coffee services for the time being. The restrooms that are going to be available are right here in the central lobby. And we're going to ask you please to try to limit the restroom occupancy to no more than 2 people. I know that's pretty far, but we want to be careful and we want to do our best. So please limit the occupancy to no more than 2 people. When it comes to our giving, our kiosk, normally our electronic kiosk is here in the foyer, but it's going to be unavailable here as we begin meeting together again. So let me remind you, you can still give online. You can still mail your checks in to the office if you'd like. You can also drop your offerings off here in our offering boxes at the back of the auditorium beginning this Sunday.
Communion will look a little different as well. As you enter the worship center, you'll be greeted by some of our leaders and helpers. They will hand you an individually wrapped communion cup, enough for your whole family. We also have a gluten-free option here if you need that. And you'll be given a baggie to put your trash in after we finish with the Lord's Supper. As you walk out, there will be trash cans conveniently located for you to throw your trash away.
So when you come into the auditorium, you'll notice that every other pew will be marked off. So you'll sit on the pews that aren't marked off. You'll sit with your family 6 feet apart from the other families on your pew. So make sure you get that social distancing in there. Also, move down front if you can. That'll help us with our singing and of course just letting people sit at the back who might need to sit at the back, like our older members or our handicapped members or members with younger children. Also, you need to know that the balcony will be closed. We're all going to be down here together for these services for now. There will be some people down here helping you find seats, so don't worry about it. And it'll look something like this.
Hey youth group, we're super excited to see you again and worship with you here instead of at the parks.
Remember, there will be no youth section. Sit with your families.
For those of you with young children, you may want to sit at the end of one of the pews so it's easy to get up. For those with babies, we do have the nursing room and a changing station available, and it will be the only changing station available on Sunday morning.
For now, on Sunday mornings, this is going to be our only changing station in the building. We have hand sanitizer, gloves, Lysol, changing pads, wipes, and dirty diaper sacks. So if you'll spray it before you start and after you finish, that would be great.
After worship is over and we're dismissed, we're going to ask everyone to make their way outside for their conversations and fellowship and probably to make some lunch plans. But to that end, we're going to ask you to go out any of the 5 entrances that we have as quickly as we can to make that happen. Also recognize that you're going to have some trash. You're going to have some trash from the Lord's Supper. The children are going to have some crayons. Please either take that home or put it in the wastebasket as you leave. One last thing. Outside, our ushers are going to have a hard copy of the Bible Project 2020. Some of you have been asking us for that, and we have them this week. Please check with them, and they'll get you one of those as you leave.
Okay, so the big question that everyone's wondering, of course, is what about masks? We are asking that if you choose to join us for worship this Sunday, that you wear a mask while you're here on campus. Yes, the whole time. Yes, even while we're singing, perhaps even especially while we're singing. Remember, our goal is to be as safe as possible. And currently, doctors are saying that there's 3 C's of transmission that we need to mitigate. That's closed spaces, that's crowded settings, and that's close contact with others. And I thought that's a pretty good description of what we're trying to do at church normally. So for now, we need to consider, would you consider this posture that you might be a non-symptomatic carrier of COVID-19, because you might be, and that someone might be joining us that is more vulnerable to COVID-19 than they expect because they might be. I know it's not ideal. I know it's not comfortable. I know it's not convenient. I did attend a church service a couple of weeks ago that's a couple of weeks ahead of us, and it wasn't like it was, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. And that wasn't even my church family, and we had a great experience joining together with them. So I think you will be pleasantly surprised, even with our limitations, of how great it is to be back together. So there's something right, like something redeeming about having to just work hard in order to come together to worship God. I mean, there's just something right about that. And so we will have online available. So if that's not convenient or you just can't do that, whether it's online or here in person, we are looking forward to worship together this Sunday.